This is Fountain Street
Every week I find
Church.
it hard to find the best ones, but somehow, like I said, you'll hear what I'm trying to say even when the words
Here,
aren't.
we strive to free the mind, grow the soul, and change the world. Here, there is freedom to doubt and freedom to believe. Here, you can find a house of prayer for all people.
The swallow up Jonah.
Welcome to Fountain Street Church. Join us on the journey.
This will not be the service I planned, but that's because Christmas Eve wasn't the service I planned either. But guess what? Gifts aren't planned. They happen. We had a beautiful service on Friday night. So much beauty, in fact, there wasn't time for me to give my homily. But the good news is that I already planned that that one on Friday night would be connected to this one today. So as I told Tom Bandick out front, when he said, I expect 2 sermons today, I said, you know, Tom, today's service is going to be like Christmas dinner. You're going to want to push away from the table before we get to the last course. So you're actually going to get 3 different moments. And I'm going to explain that in a moment myself. You're going to get a few poems that aren't mine, and you're going to get 3 things I did right. And because Christmas is about something that is not about whether it's factually true, but whether it's emotionally true, all of them are false in the sense they didn't actually happen. And yet all of them are true because they speak about things we all know to be so. I'm going to start with a poem. It's a poem by Robert Frost. All I have to do is find it because I printed it earlier this morning. It's called A Christmas Circular Letter. The city had withdrawn unto itself and left at last the country to the country, when between whirls of snow not come to lie and whirls of foliage not yet laid, there drove a stranger to our yard who looked the city, yet did in country fashion draw us out, a buttoning coats to ask him who he was. He proved to be the city come again, to look for something it had left behind and could not do without and keep its Christmas. He asked me if I would sell my Christmas trees, my woods, the young fir balsams, like a place where houses are all churches and have spires. I hadn't thought of them as Christmas trees. I doubt if I was tempted for a moment to sell them off their feet to go in cars and leave the slope behind the house all bare, where the sun shines now no warmer than the moon. I'd hate to have them know if I was, yet more I'd hate to hold my trees except as others hold theirs or refuse for them beyond the time of profitable growth, a trial by market everything must come to. I dallied so much with the thought of selling. Then, whether from mistaken courtesy and fear of seeming short of speech, or whether from hope of hearing good of what was mine, I said, there aren't enough to be worthwhile. I could soon tell you how many they would cut. You let me look them over. You could look. But don't expect I'm going to let you have them. Pasture, they spring in, some in clumps too close that lop each other to boughs, but not a few quite solitary and having equal boughs round and around. The latter he nodded yes to, or paused to say beneath some lovelier one with a buyer's moderation, that would do. I thought so too, but wasn't there to say so. We climbed the pasture on the south, crossed over, and came down the north. He said 1,000. 1,000 Christmas trees? At what a piece? He felt some need of softening that to me. 1,000 trees would come to $30. Then I was certain I had never meant to let him have them, never show surprise. But $30 seemed so small beside the extent of pasture I should strip. 3 cents, for that was all they figured out apiece. 3 cents so small beside the dollar friends I should be writing to within the hour, would pay in cities for good trees like these, regular vestry trees. Whole Sunday schools could hang enough to pick off enough. 1,000 Christmas trees I didn't know I had, worth 3 cents more to give away than sell, as may be shown by a simple calculation. Too bad I couldn't lay one in a letter. I can't help wishing I could send you one, and wishing you herewith a Merry Christmas. We're not done yet. I'm glad you're eager. That's lovely. I'm pairing that with an imagined holiday letter. You're going to hear 3, written on successive years from a family I've made up. Not because it isn't true, but because it's safer to reveal things about people that aren't real. Holiday letters have a questionable reputation, don't they? As I said on Sunday, whenever I get them, I feel as though I'm never quite as good as the people who send them to me. Their adventures seem far more extensive. And yet it seemed to me that a letter for Christmas is about as rich a gift as one can give. And so I imagined a family about my age, starting a career 30 years ago, in December of 1980. And it begins like this. Greetings, dear friends. Now that we have moved from the hum of the big city to the ho-hum hills of New England, we thought it might be a good idea to add a few words of greeting along with the usual card with the snow and the tree and the other well-worn symbols of the season. We've received a few of these sort of letters before and know they are suspect. So we will try to make sure it is not all about our successes and adventures, but also about the rest of life, which after all is the most of life. As you all know, this is our first rural Christmas. Having spent our whole lives in a city, even before we were married, fate determined to teach us about the countryside. I'm serving my first church here in remote hills where houses have not numbers but names, like the Olmsted Parsonage, which is what ours is called. They lived here 100 years ago. All houses are called by a previous owner, Ours won't be called by our name unless we die here.